Hello everyone. So the next topic which we will be going to discuss is about the photorespiration. So what do you understand by the term photorespiration? Photorespiration is a respiratory process as the name suggests. So it occurs in the higher plants, and this process of photorespiration, it is also known as the oxidative photosynthetic or C2 photosynthesis or the carbon cycle. So these are some of the names of the photorespiration. So what is the definition? It is a process of light independent uptake of the oxygen, and there is a release of carbon dioxide from the organic compounds. So the gaseous exchange, which is during the photorespiration, they resembles aerobic respiration, but photorespiration, it is a light dependent process and they are catalyzed by the Rubisco. So what is a Rubisco? Rubisco, it is the most plentiful enzyme that is present in the world. If we want to see the full form of the Rubisco, so what is the full form of the Rubisco? It is the rubulose 1,5-bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. So this is the full form of the Rubisco. It is being catalyzed. It catalyzes the carboxylation of RuBP, which is the fixation of O2 in the synthesis of glucose in the Calvin cycle. So in the next figure, this is the this is a basically equation which is showing how this process is being taken place. So first we will understand what is the function of Rubisco in the photorespiration. So photorespiration, as I have already told you, it is a respiratory process in the higher plants. So in photorespiration particularly, Rubisco catalyzes the oxygenation of RuBP. So we have seen there is an oxygen molecule and there is a RuBP to one molecule of PGA and phosphoglycolate. So these are the two molecules which are being represented here. So what happens is PGA, they moves into the Calvin cycle, while the phosphoglycate, they hydrolyze to form the glycolate. So they hydrolyze to form the glycolate. Glycolate, it will then passes to the perisome, where it oxidizes to glycosate and it will turn into glycine. So it will get converted into glycine. So it will first convert it into glycosylate and then it will convert to glycine. Now what happens to glycine then? The glycine will then enters the mitochondria, where the two molecules of this glycine, they condenses to form a molecule of serine with the release of O2 and ammonia. So they will release the O2 and CO2 and ammonia. So serine now moves back to the perisome and it is denated to glycerate and it will pass to the chloroplast for the synthesis of photosynthesis and photorespiration, and it will thus complete the cycle of the photorespiration. Now effect of temperature and photorespiration. So photorespiration, how the temperature will affect the process of photorespiration. When there is a higher temperature, it will promote oxygenation and photorespiration. So both of these will be promoted, which means it will increase. Why they will increase? Because there is a solubility of carbon dioxide in the water, which will lead to the decline of oxygen as the temperature increases. So when the temperature increases, there will be more rapid growth or declining in the oxygen. So this specificity of Rubisco also decreases with the increasing temperature. So that will also lead to the decrease. Rubisco will decrease with the increasing temperature. As the temperature increases, Rubisco will decrease. Now, what are the advantages of the photorespiration? Its advantages are, this supports the plant's immune defense. They also help in maintaining the redox balance in the cell. So these are the advantages of photorespiration. Now what are the disadvantages of photorespiration? So it is the reverse of photosynthesis. The photorespiration process is the reverse of photosynthesis. It reduces the effectiveness of the photosynthesis, and it is a wasteful process as it does not produce ATP or NADPH. So it will not produce any of these energies. So it is considered as a wasteful process. So these are some of the disadvantages of photorespiration. Now photorespiration in the C3 and the C4 cycle, or in the C4 plants. So we will understand this by the Calvin cycle itself. So in the Calvin cycle itself, what was the first process in the Calvin cycle? The first step is the biosynthetic phase in the C3 plants. So the plants which use only the Calvin cycle for fixing the carbon dioxide. So we will understand by Calvin cycle, and then we will come to the photorespiration part. So the reaction in which the carbon dioxide and water combines to give carbohydrate is termed as the carbon fixation process. And the Calvin cycle is the first step of carbon fixation where CO2 combines with the RUBP. Like this was the first we are discussing, that what is happening. The Calvin cycle is the first step in which the carbon fixation combines with the CO2 to form, combines with RUBP to form two molecules of 3 carbon called PGA, that is 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So they will form 3-phosphoglyceric acid. Next is, this reaction is catalyzed by the most abundant enzyme in the world, that is the Rubisco. So this is being catalyzed by which enzyme? The Rubisco enzyme. And Rubisco, it is the enzyme that has an affinity for both the O2 and CO2, but it has more affinity towards the CO2. So they will have more affinity because they will release the CO2 at the end of the process. So they have more affinity towards the CO2. So the building of CO2 and O2, they are competitive in nature, and the concentration of the molecules in the atmosphere determines the winner. So this is a basis of the photorespiration. And sometimes in the C3 plants, Rubisco binds to the oxygen molecules and the reaction will diverge from the regular metabolic pathway. This combination of RUBP and oxygen molecules leads to the formation of the phosphoglycerate and phosphoglycolate. So this pathway is called the photorespiration pathway. So this pathway is called as the photorespiration pathway. So during the process of photorespiration, there is no sugar or ATP molecule that are being synthesized. It is just the O2 which is released at the expense of ATP. The whole process is futile. So the whole process is futile. And if we talk about the C4 cycle or C4 plants, they do not undergo any photorespiration. So if we talk about the C4 plants, they do not undergo any photorespiration because they have a special mechanism which will increase the CO2 level for the enzyme binding. So there is a pathway which is also called as Hatch and Slack pathway, in which the C4 acid or oxalic acid, they breaks down to release the CO2. So they will break down and they will release the CO2. So this ensures that the higher concentration of intercellular CO2 in this, and in C4 plants, basically Rubisco is more active as a carboxylase enzyme rather than an oxygenase. So that is why C4 have a better productivity. So the C4 plants will have a better productivity. So this was all about the photorespiration in both the C3 and the C4 plants. So these are some of the references. Thank you.